In this video, we are going to review some of the basic features of a manual wheelchair. So let's get started. One of the most important features of the wheelchair are the brakes, and that's what you see right here. It's for locks or brakes for the wheelchair wheels. As a caregiver, we always want the loved one to be applying these if they can, but in the case that they can't, we need to make sure anytime our loved one is getting in or out of that chair, the brakes need to be on. I always recommend that if they're sitting in the chair, they need to also be on as well. So here is the brake here, and it's already applied to the wheelchair. The way this is taken off is if you place your hand here. Now, of course, if the person in the chair is doing that, their hand is going to come on the outside. But I would take the brake here, you pull it backwards, and that releases the wheel from the brake. If you push forward, then that applies the brake back to the wheel. So again, that is the wheelchair brake. Now, if your loved one is applying these and they're having a little bit of trouble, they need a little bit more leverage, there are brake handle extenders here that are available as well. Those are a nice feature to add if your loved one is going to be doing the application of the wheelchair brakes. So now let's talk about the armrest. On this manual wheelchair, we have removable armrests. Some of them do, some of them don't. This particular style, you have the higher level armrest right back here with the pad, and then it comes down into this configuration right here. This will allow you to wheel this wheelchair up to a table and not hit against the armrest. It'll allow the person to get a little bit closer to a table. Now, the way you remove this armrest, there is a push pin button right here. So you're going to push this in. That will release a little notch, and this will come right up off of the wheelchair. Now, this is the typical position of this armrest. On occasion, if I have a client that is having difficulty pushing up from this level from their chair, so that they're pushing up, helping me get them up, if they're having trouble here and they actually don't have the arm motion to be able to put their hand far enough back to get leverage on this armrest, on occasion, I will actually take the armrest and I will switch it and turn it around. Now, this may work on some chairs, this may not work on all chairs. You need to make sure it's in there and it's secure. But this will give them a little bit higher level to push off of if they need that, not having them have to reach too far back to reach that higher level of armrest. But for the most part, most of my clients are able to use this as it typically is put on the chair in this position, just like this. Again, we're going to put this back on. You snap that pin right in the front there, and they push off from here. So now we are going to talk about footrests and elevating leg rests. So I have a standard footrest for this wheelchair in my hand right here. This will allow us to lengthen and shorten the length of the leg rest right here. So what you can do is push these little push pins in, and it will allow you to lengthen that or shorten that depending on what you're needing for your loved one. I also have an elevating leg rest right here. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you, in the standard footrest, this elevating leg rest, when you go to put these on the wheelchair, a lot of times people will try to put these on. So there's these holes right here, and there's a couple of posts right here on the chair. That's where these holes go onto. But a lot of times people will try to come at this straight from the front, and it's very difficult to get those lined up. So what I suggest is to pull the leg out to the side, pull this little lever right here back. So bring it from the side, and this will allow you to line them up a little bit easier. They pop right on there, and then you're going to bring the leg rest right around in front and listen actually for this click. And that it indicates that it's locked in. You want to make sure that it's in place. So you have this lever right here again that will take the leg rest off. When you take it off, bring it out to the side, pull this lever out, and then you can lift these right off the post. Again, that's how you're going to want to put them back on. Bring them from the side. It's the easiest. And you're going to bring it right around, lock it into place. Here you notice you have a calf pad that it will come back and forth in this direction. The footrest will come up and down as well. Now back here, you can see this is the elevating lever for the footrest. So when you pull it up, it allows you to actually elevate that footrest. Then you use this little lever back here. You're going to push it forward, and it'll allow you to bring the leg rest down. Now, one thing, when you have your loved one in this chair, if their legs are up and you're going to put them down, make sure you're supporting this leg rest as you pull this forward, because this will drop down. We don't want that happening. You need to watch your fingers in this space also. You don't want to get them pinched. But for sure, make sure you're supporting this leg rest when you lower it back down like that. So that's this little lever right here. We also have push pins here that will allow us to lengthen and shorten this as well. So I remove this here. We're going to push this push pin in, and this will allow me to lengthen the leg rest and shorten it. Okay, so that's the elevating leg rest for the manual wheelchair.